Our story begins in the city of Thebes in ancient Greece, which was modeled after the city of Thebes in Egypt. The king and queen of Thebes were expecting a child and were very happy. However, the king's oracle wizard type person delivered a prophecy to him that said one day his child would rise up and murder him. Needless to say, the royal couple was shocked. So, upon having the child, they did what any good parents would do. They ordered the baby to be taken away by a servant, to have spikes driven into his ankles so he could never return home, and for his body to be thrown into the river. Great parenting. Fortunately, the servant wasn't a completely wretched human being, and instead of throwing the baby in the river, he just decided to leave him for dead on the side of a mountain, which apparently isn't as bad. Fortunately, a shepherd passing by from the town of Corinth, which was just on the other side of the mountain from Thebes, found the baby all alone, almost dead. As it turns out, the king and queen of Corinth were unable to have a child of their own. So as a gift, the shepherd presented the young baby to them. They were very happy, and they named the baby Oedipus, which literally means swollen foot. And so they began their happy family. Little did they know, however, that their son's life would be a tragedy. Over time, Oedipus grew up into a strong, handsome, and smart young man. One day, Oedipus was out drinking with a good friend of his, and his friend got so drunk that he accidentally let a secret slip out. He revealed to Oedipus that, well, he was adopted. Oedipus was shocked, and to determine the truth for himself, he made a trek all the way from Corinth to Delphi, where the temple of Apollo was. The oracle there told Oedipus that one day he would murder his father, as the prophecy foretold. Of course, Oedipus, learning he was adopted, had no idea who his father was. Oedipus realized that he could never go back to Corinth in case he would accidentally kill his own father there, so he decided to settle down in Thebes. As Oedipus was walking back along the road to Thebes, an older man came up behind him and thought that Oedipus was going just a bit too slow. So he bopped him on the head with his walking stick.
Hurry it up, youngin'.
This made Oedipus very angry, and you would not like him when he's angry. He killed all of the old man's servants and then, of course, went after the old man himself. Oedipus looked out over the carnage he had created. Fortunately, one man managed to escape the destruction. Oedipus eventually reached Thebes, but he realized something was terribly wrong. A monstrous creature was guarding the gates to Thebes and eating anyone who came in her way. The creature had the body of a lion, the wings of an eagle, and, the breasts of a woman, the mighty Sphinx.
"Answer my riddle,"
the Sphinx said,
"and I shall let you live."
This is Life or Death Jeopardy! Let's meet today's contestant. Looking to get a leg up on the competition, please welcome Swollen Foot! And here's our lovely host, the Sphinx. Take it away.
This creature walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and 3 in the evening. And you said, what is a man? That's correct.
The Sphinx was so upset that she did the only logical thing and hurled herself off of a mountain. Oedipus was hailed as a hero in Thebes, so much so in fact that to replace their former king that had mysteriously vanished, he was crowned king of Thebes. Furthermore, he got to marry the queen of Thebes. Does she look familiar? Because she should. Also, they conceived 4 children together. Yeah, that happened. The years went by and a drought settled over the land of Thebes. Oedipus sent his brother-in-law Creon to the temple of Apollo to investigate. When Creon returned, he said that the drought would not be lifted until the murderer of the former king of Thebes was found. Oedipus decided to take it upon himself to investigate. Everyone he asked all had the same answer. He needed to speak to the blind prophet, for he knew all, but could see nothing. When Oedipus finally did meet the blind prophet, he revealed something to Oedipus that was shocking.
"You killed the king, Oedipus,"
he said. Oedipus rolled his eyes. This upset him, so he left. The blind prophet replied,
"I may be blind to the world, Oedipus, but you are blind to the truth."
Oedipus rushed home to the queen to explain the situation. "Well, that can't be true. You've never murdered anyone, have you?" "I did, but it was ages ago, before we were even married." "Well, what did he look like?" Oedipus recounted the day years ago where he killed the old man and all of his servants. The queen knew, based on his description, that he had killed the king of Thebes. "I'm told there was a witness that day," Oedipus said. "I have to find him and hear what he has to say." The queen had already put 2 and 2 together, though. Oedipus tracked down the witness, and when he revealed who he was, Oedipus was shocked. It was one of the servants, the man who got away.
"It was you, Oedipus. It was you who killed my king."
Oedipus was furious at his wife for not telling him the truth. In a fit of rage, he rushed home to murder the queen. But he didn't have to. While Oedipus was out speaking to the witness, the queen had committed suicide by hanging herself. It was then Oedipus made the most shocking revelation of them all. He remembered the prophecy that the oracle gave him at the temple of Apollo long, long ago that said he would kill his own father. Now, if the man that he killed on the road to Thebes was his father, and his father was the king, that means that his mother was the queen of Thebes, and that he had married and conceived children with his own mother. Oedipus was so shocked by this revelation that in a panic he grabbed the queen's hairpins, which looked conveniently enough like a combat knife, and gouged out his own eyes. It would appear that to Oedipus, destiny was an inescapable thing. The words of the blind prophet rang true. Oedipus, who could now see the truth, was blind to the world in an ironic twist of fate. As the king of Thebes, Oedipus did the only honorable thing he could and banished himself from the city. Oedipus left his 2 sons, Eteocles and Polynices, to rule in his place. He took with him his 2 daughters, Antigone and Ismene, into the desert with him. In his old age, Oedipus was said to be struck by a lightning bolt, killing him instantly. However, the ancient Greeks have a tradition. To be struck by a lightning bolt means to be called up to Mount Olympus to be with Zeus and the gods themselves. So maybe it is there where Oedipus now rests, free from the tragic life he lived on Earth. And so ends the story of Oedipus, historically the first motherfucker